Hi everybody. First of all, of course, thank you very much for the invitation. It's super nice to be here. I've never been in Russia before. I've never been here before, and so for me it's super surprising and super inspiring for many aspects. Also for the World Cup yesterday. Of course, I will say some words because it was good. Okay, here is my presentation, I think. Sorry for that, because all the time, like I save my presentation in like Keynote, or PowerPoint, PDF, everything, and then I arrive and I discover that it's wrong and doesn't work, and I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so just a little bit of introduction. Okay. As Juan, I'm an architect, and as also Morgan, and it's super nice also to see how society is reusing architects and non-architectures. But I think it's the best thing that we can do, because when I was studying architecture, actually I was like all the time thinking, I don't want really to design building. I want to do more. So what I did, when I was, actually, it's super nice because I was studying in Spain, and then I was studying in Canada, and then I'm here, so it's like everything is connected in my life. But when I was in Canada, a friend of mine told me, oh, we have a good opportunity because I won a big grant from Europe to make a social innovation project in Sicily. Which is the island where I come from. Would you want to come with me again, to go back to Sicily and set up a team to work there? And they say, like I'm in Canada here, like everything is perfect, have work, the weather is not very good, okay? but you know, of course better than Sicily. So it was hard. But then I said, okay, let's try. Like we are crazy. We want to change every time to do something new. So we went there, me and him, and other two guys. One was studying in Milan at that moment, and the only one was in Palermo. So like we always went back there. And so we made Push, which is right now a non-profit organization working for social innovation projects, and making creative and technological solutions for smart cities. That sounds very hard to understand, but it's not so hard. Like what we are doing is these four things: so research and development, urban design, lean management, and communication and marketing. Because okay, there is no team. Oops, sorry. There was the team slide, but there is not. Okay, we are 15 right now, so we are architects, engineers, so information technologies engineers, designer, graphic designers. So we wanted to make a real organic team, heterogeneous, to develop projects from the very beginning to the end, without asking helping to other people. That was our idea. So we were working on all these projects and other. So in 3 years, and these are for very different topics. For example, the very central one, Traffico 2, is a project about sustainable mobility, and is an application to give incentives to people to go by public transports or going walking or with bicycle, and not going with cars, because traffic is one of the biggest problems in Palermo, actually. Yes, our philosophy is not touching architecture, but making services. So working with people as tools and city as a service. So this is like our kind of philosophy. So these are there, like for example, this is a multimedia map of Palermo made by locals, so with local tips. And then like many others, also Palermo on Tour is an application based on open data. So the municipality gave us open data for the tourists, and we built an application for the citizens to discover the best tour with the time you have to visit the city, and many others. The project that I wanted to present today, the name is Borgo Vecchio Factory, is very linked to the project that we saw before, of one. Of course, the scale is a little bit it's smaller because Palermo is not as big as Madrid. Also, I forgot to say that Palermo, I don't know if is there anyone that has been in Palermo before? No? Okay, it's normal.
No,
one. Oh, very good. 2, 3. Oh, wow. Very good. Very, very good. Because like people go to Italy and go from Rome to the north. Never in the south. It's comprehensible. Because there is like it's a big difference between the south of Italy and north of Italy. Palermo, of course, is one of the biggest cities in Italy, but after Naples is one of the most difficult cities because it's full of contrasts, and it had a very, very strong history of domination from French people, Spanish people. We have everything, Arabs, everything. But I think now we are understanding that this is our power. So we are trying to rechange it. We, as Juan was saying, we discovered that this is the opportunity. Like the problems are opportunity for us. Okay. Another very, I think, an interesting aspect of the project that I will going to show you is that the area in which we worked actually is absolutely not a peripheral area. It's super central area. So it's the black one in the map, and the gray part on the right is one of the most central area in Palermo. So this one. This is the city center, and this is our neighbor, and this is the richest part of the city. So it's in between the city center and the richest part, but it was abandoned and completely forget for many years, like 20 years. So now you can see in the photograph, this is the situation of the houses, and it's incredible because many people in Palermo, they don't really know this neighbor because they're like virtual barriers. The lighting is not very good in the night, so people they don't really want to go. There was a market and they closed it, so now they are very in a marginal situation. And one of the biggest problems there was that the children, they don't go to school, so the early school leaving. So we went there and we discovered that they don't have any public space. If for public space we intend squares or parks, of course they don't have this kind of space, but they have streets. And they leave streets like squares. They leave streets like continuation of their houses. And it's completely different for what we use to see the streets. Like for us are just spaces in which you have to pass to go from a point to another point. For them, the streets are the squares and their parts. So what we did was, okay, I have a short video. I don't know if it's here. Hopefully it works. Oops. From here. Sorry for that. before the project. Okay, there is the sound and the subtitles, but we don't have the sound and the subtitles. But it's okay. Just you can see the images. So this is from the water line, and then this is the main soccer field in the center, and these are the streets of the neighborhood. And so one day, a street artist from Como, actually from near Milan, came and okay, don't worry, no problem. It's better. Yeah. Okay, good. That's good. So exactly, he was the artist, came and he made 2 weeks of workshops with the kids, without very knowing them, just asking them to draw what they want to draw on the walls, and then taking their drawings and putting them in the walls with them. So if you can see, like, yeah, in a very not safe way, they draw all their drawings in the walls of their apartment, of their houses. So that was the concept. And it was made like with no money at all. But he understood that this operation, this project has a potential to be replicated and to be continued in the neighborhood. But we didn't have the money. So the municipality, of course, they don't have money for us as usual. So what we decided to do, it was to make a crowdfunding campaign. Okay, this is not important. They said we need money, please, something like that. Okay, I will go back to the presentation as soon as I can. Okay, and then okay. Here we are. Okay, so my slides actually are the pages of a catalog, final catalog that we made with all the photograph and images of the projects that we've done. So as you can see, this is the process more or less. So starting from the drawings of the kids, they replicate, and of course a bigger scale, the drawings in on the walls of their apartments, of their houses. That was very important because now we have more than 25 giant graffiti in the neighborhood, and no one touches this graffiti because they are like very proud of them. So when you go there, and now there is people going there because a kind of a sort of like little tourists is interesting to see what's happened in this neighborhood, and they are super proud to tell all the story, where these drawings come from and how they made it and all the stuff. So this is another artist from London, actually, Pang is the name, and he made several workshops with the kids. And then, yeah, this is cute because this is of course the drawing of the artist, and then there is the drawing of Rosario. It's super nice. And so we made this on September 2014. We made this crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo, and we got 8,300 euros, more or less. And we used this money to finance this operation in the neighborhood for other 6 months. But actually, the real importance of this crowdfunding campaign was to giving attention to this place, and we found that like the 60% of the money that we got went from people, Italian people, Palermitan people living abroad. So that was important for us because like it was an help from people that really know this neighbor, but now they can help with money, and maybe when they were in Palermo they couldn't. So yeah, of course we had to make some like gadgets and stuff like that for perks because we needed. We also took some of this, brought some of these children in a place calling Farm Cultural Park. That actually is another good experiment that somebody is carrying out in a little tiny city in Sicily. That is like a super contemporary art museum in a very bad city, super bad. So we brought this kids, and they met all the kids of the other communities, and they met together and said, okay, I'm going to finish. So then we started, and we called other artists from all around Italy. This is Aris from Viareggio, and then Alec from Abruzzo. And actually, like in the last exhibition in New York of Italian street artists, they were both there. And so now, yeah, just a few examples. This is interesting because it's the football. This is football for these kids is the only dream they have. Like they want just to play football, and this is the neighborhood. So like you can find all the inhabitants in the windows. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to do to tell you, it was this one. This is the soccer field, the main soccer field in the center of the neighborhood. We didn't have enough money to pay also the materials and for the net and all the stuff, so we organized a tournament. So people from all around Palermo came, made their own team and played to support the realization of this soccer team. And these are all the kids that they participated, and also of course teams of adults. We don't want kids to pay for that. And these are like all the donors and stuff.